Most owners think their dog is distracted during walks. The dog suddenly stops, glances back at them, then continues walking like nothing happened. At first, it seems random. Maybe the dog is just checking whether you are still there. But after a while, many people start noticing how often it happens. The dog keeps looking back during certain moments, certain environments, or certain emotional situations. And once owners begin paying attention closely, the behavior starts feeling far more meaningful than simple distraction. Sometimes the dog looks back quietly while walking ahead confidently. Other times the glance feels emotional, almost like the dog is checking in with you before deciding what to do next. That small moment surprises many people because it reveals something important about how dogs experience walks emotionally. For dogs, walks are not just physical exercise. Walks are full of information, decisions, emotional processing, environmental awareness, and social connection. Even while exploring smells and movement around them, many dogs remain highly emotionally connected to the person walking beside them. That connection is one reason dogs frequently look back during walks. The glance is often part communication, part emotional check-in, and part environmental assessment. Many owners first notice this behavior becoming stronger in unfamiliar environments. The dog suddenly looks back more often while processing new sounds, movement, or changes happening around them. That behavior is deeply connected to canine social instincts. Long before dogs became household companions, survival depended heavily on staying connected to the group around them. Moving too far away from trusted members of the group could create risk or uncertainty. That instinct still exists strongly in modern dogs today. Some dogs naturally check back more because they are emotionally bonded very closely to their owners. The dog wants reassurance that everything still feels safe, calm, and connected. Highly intelligent or emotionally sensitive breeds often do this even more frequently. German Shepherds, Border Collies, Golden Retrievers, Dobermans, Labrador Retrievers, Belgian Malinois, and many companion breeds tend to monitor their owners constantly during walks. For these dogs, the walk is not emotionally separate from the relationship. The dog still wants emotional information from the person beside them. Sometimes the glance simply means, "Are we okay?" The dog checks your posture, emotional tone, pace, and reaction to the environment around you. Other times, the glance becomes a form of guidance seeking. The dog notices something unfamiliar and instinctively looks toward the owner for emotional information about how to react. This behavior is called social referencing, and dogs do it far more often than many people realize. When something uncertain appears in the environment, many dogs instinctively study their owner's reaction before deciding whether they should feel relaxed, excited, nervous, or cautious themselves. That emotional awareness is one reason dogs seem so deeply connected to human behavior during walks. Many owners first notice this during emotionally tense situations. The dog suddenly looks back repeatedly whenever unusual movement, unfamiliar dogs, loud sounds, or emotional tension appears nearby. The dog is not necessarily frightened. The dog is gathering emotional information from the person it trusts most. That glance can also become stronger in dogs that feel especially bonded to one person. Some dogs constantly monitor the owner's location because proximity itself feels emotionally reassuring. This is one reason some dogs frequently stop and look back whenever the owner slows down slightly or changes direction. The dog is continuously checking whether the social connection still feels intact during movement. Some owners accidentally misunderstand this behavior completely. They assume the dog is being stubborn, distracted, or not focused enough during walks. In reality, many dogs that look back frequently are actually highly engaged with their owner emotionally. That emotional connection is often a very positive sign. The dog is choosing to remain socially connected even while surrounded by environmental distractions. At the same time, context matters enormously. A relaxed glance back is very different from anxious monitoring. Confident dogs usually glance back briefly, then continue exploring comfortably. Emotionally insecure dogs sometimes check back constantly because they feel uncertain or overstimulated by the environment. This is why body language matters so much. Relaxed posture, loose movement, soft eyes, and calm behavior usually indicate healthy emotional connection during walks. Tense posture, hesitation, excessive scanning, or constant checking can sometimes reflect emotional insecurity or stress instead. Dogs also learn routines very quickly during walks. If looking back consistently creates interaction, praise, encouragement, or emotional engagement, the behavior often strengthens naturally over time. Owners reinforce this without even realizing it. The dog looks back, the owner smiles, speaks, or responds emotionally, and the dog learns the interaction feels rewarding. That does not make the behavior manipulative. It simply strengthens the social bond emotionally. Many dogs also look back during walks because they are trying to maintain group coordination instinctively. The dog wants to ensure everybody is still moving together safely. This becomes especially obvious in off-leash or long-line situations where the dog periodically checks the owner's location before continuing exploration. The glance often feels almost protective in some dogs. The dog appears emotionally invested in where the owner is and what is happening around them. Highly observant dogs may also look back more when they detect emotional tension in the owner themselves. Dogs constantly study human breathing, posture, pace, emotional tone, and body language during walks. If the owner feels stressed or distracted, many dogs immediately notice the change and begin checking back more frequently. That emotional sensitivity is one reason dogs often seem deeply emotionally synchronized with their owners during walks. Many experienced owners eventually realize walks are not simply about exercise from the dog's perspective. Walks are shared emotional experiences full of communication and environmental processing. The dog is constantly balancing curiosity about the world with emotional connection to the person beside them. This is why some dogs seem happiest when walks feel socially interactive rather than emotionally disconnected. Calm communication, engagement, praise, and emotional stability often create more confident walking behavior overall. What surprises many people most is how emotionally connected dogs remain even while exploring independently. The dog may appear focused on the environment, but emotionally the owner still remains incredibly important during the experience. That is why many dogs continue checking back naturally throughout walks. Thus, when we recognize the true motivations behind their actions, we can foster deeper connections and enrich our shared experiences. By nurturing this understanding, we pave the way for a more fulfilling relationship, where every interaction holds significance and every moment together deepens the bond we share. Embracing this perspective transforms our outlook on companionship and inspires more compassionate ways to engage with our pets. As the person walks, the dog's wagging tail and hopeful eyes convey an eagerness for shared moments, each sniff a reminder of their bond and the unspoken language they share in every step. A gentle nuzzle against the person's leg prompts a smile. Together, they navigate the world, where every rustle in the bushes and distant bark sparks curiosity. With each passing moment, the bond deepens, celebrating trust and companionship in their own delightful dance through life's adventures. Their hearts beat in harmony, echoing the joy of simply being together.